It All Starts With You is a show where we're going on a journey of self-discovery and exploration. This platform is a place for women who are transitioning and transforming. Hi, I'm Eileen Lemelman, licensed clinical social worker and psychotherapist. We are embarking on a trip together where I will be interviewing experts and extraordinary women such as you and me. Let's start the show. Hello, my friends. Hi, my ladies. Hi, my dolls. I am so happy to welcome you today to It All Starts With You. Can I just tell you how excited I am that you have decided to join me again on my radio show, on my video cast, on my amazing journey. You're either here because you're curious about what I'm doing, or you've decided to join my tribe. And I am so, whatever the reason is, I am so happy that you're here with me. I had an amazing week. It was a ride. It was a ride. But isn't that what life is all about? We have our ups, we have our downs, we have our highs, we have our lows. But the important thing is that we learn. We learn about ourselves and we choose ourselves each and every time. Let's choose us. Let's choose me to start the journey. But before I start the show, I need to put my lipstick on. I know. You're saying, what are you doing, Eileen? Well, I decided I'm going to use red. Red was always my favorite color. When I was a younger woman, I had red shirts and sweaters and tops in my wardrobe. And at some point, I stopped wearing red. I remember, though, when I was younger and I would put on my red shirt, I would feel sexy and fiery and hot. And then one day it stopped. Was it after I got married? Was it after I started having children? Was it after I stopped working in the workplace and decided to be a stay-at-home mom? Was it after I stopped contributing financially to the household? When did I start feeling unsure and insecure about myself? When did I blend into the background and not want to call too much attention to myself? I traded in my red shirt for a sweatshirt. Can you relate to that? Can you recall a time when you chose to stop stepping into your own power? You know the world of mothering is filled with self-doubt and comparison and feelings of inadequacy. That's what kids can do to you. No, let me take that back. That's what I could do to me. That is what I chose to do to me. When the kids were younger, I was filled, as so many other younger mothers, filled with doubt and insecurity. Are my kids doing a myriad of milestones fast enough? Do my kids measure up to the other kids in the playground or in the sandbox? You remember those things. Crawling and walking and talking and potty training. There's an endless litany of questions about whether your kids measure up to the other kids in the sandbox or on the playground. But it's not about them. Because let's face it, Your kids are absolutely going to do all of those things at some point. They're going to crawl, they're going to walk, they're going to talk. You know that. But it's your own sense of inadequacy and questioning yourself if you measure up to others with self-judgment and criticism. And do you stop comparing yourself to others or worry about others' opinions or criticisms or judgments when the children are grown and out of the house? Oh no, we are continuing to compare ourselves to others. The questions might change. They might be, am I thin enough? Am I pretty enough? Am I smart enough? Am I successful enough? Am I wealthy enough? Are my children married? Do they have children? Did my children become a doctor? But I don't want to blame my imposter syndrome on my children, because the reality is my inner critic has always been there, and it didn't go away just because I went into menopause. So I'm deciding to wear red today. I'm deciding to wear red again. Red symbolizes energy, life force, health, courage, love, power, and sexuality. So today, I'm choosing to use my red lips as a symbol of self-esteem, self-care, and self-love. What do you think? Oh my goodness, ladies. I feel so confident right now. I feel confident and fierce and brave and empowered. And I know when I feel empowered, I empower you. When I look my best, I feel my best, and I do my best. I'm also thinking that maybe, just in case, I have a little hot flash, my lips will match me. So, some people might say, oh, Eileen, makeup is just on the outside, and isn't it a superficial way of making yourself feel good? A facade. Makeup is just one way that I choose to make myself feel good. When I say that I'm applying makeup, it's actually an unconscious way or a conscious way of taking time to really attend to myself. It makes myself feel important and valuable. And when I do that, I'm actually making deposits into my self-esteem bank. I love and honor myself better than anyone else will. The amount of time I dedicate to myself is invaluable. I can care for myself with love and intention and call it self-care, because it is. But I have a host of ways that I take care of myself each and every day. Every morning, I exercise, I journal, I visualize, I meditate, and I read. You see this book? Hal Elrod wrote this book called The Miracle Morning. Oh my. Thank you, Hal Elrod. He calls his morning rituals, and the rituals I will tell you about, our miracle morning savers. Now, what does savers mean? Well, savers is an acronym for, and let me tell you what each of the letters stands for. S is for silence or meditation. A is for affirmations. V is for visualizations. E is for exercise. R is for reading. And S is for scribing or journal writing. In his book, he did research on the most successful and happy people and the things that they share and that they have in common that make them happy and successful. And you know what he found? He found that the most successful and happy people have these types of morning rituals. They get up early in the morning. They don't sleep the morning away. They get up early. I mean like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. And they stack these habits every single day. When you decide to wake up and take care of yourself in this positive way, you set yourself up with positivity and you approach the day in a really, really open arm way. I wake up every day with mindfulness and intentionality and purpose. It really makes a difference when you wake up being present and excited about greeting the new day with connection to yourself. I feel different now, and I wake up with intention and purpose. What direction do you want to go? How do you want your life to look? And do you want to wake up with purpose? The year of the pandemic was a year of transition for me. The pandemic, although it was very, very difficult for so many, and still is, has been a gift to me. This year, I actually had time to stop, just to stop, give myself space, which allowed me to connect to myself in a very different way than I ever have. I wake up greeting each day with excitement and curiosity and joy. I choose to breathe in life, breathe in courage, breathe in joy, breathe in gratitude, breathe in possibility, breathe in curiosity. I no longer wake up on autopilot, doing routine and mundane things and dread the new day and wonder what negative things are going to come to me today. One of the saddest things in life is to look back and regret, knowing that you could have been, done, or had so many things and so much more in your life. I don't want you to sell yourself short, and I don't want to sell myself short. I want us to connect and grow together and connect together. Your life is not going to change if you do not take massive action to change. And we can do it together as a collective, as a group of women who need each other. Can you just imagine for a moment what it would be like to wake up each morning feeling that way? How do you start your day? Do you have a morning ritual? Do you show up for yourself? Or do you abandon yourself each and every day? When I say abandon, I'm talking about not trusting in yourself, hiding parts of yourself, your feelings, your beliefs, your ideas, in order to fit in with the crowd, in order to get approval, in order to please others before yourself, not to make waves because you feel you're too much. We abandon ourselves when we don't value ourselves and when we don't act in our best interest and don't encourage and comfort ourselves. Some examples of self-abandonment is not trusting in your instincts or second-guessing yourself, people-pleasing by seeking validation from others, hiding parts of yourself by giving up your interests and your goals, perfectionism, self-criticism, and self-judgment, not honoring your needs and supporting and not supporting and suppressing your feelings and needs and giving away parts of yourself so that others are happy before you. Self-abandonment can lead to anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem. Self-abandonment is a learned behavior. You can change that. Self-abandonment is rooted in unhealthy and dysfunctional family dynamics. I know, because I was guilty of abandoning myself for much of my life. Coming from a home with an explosive, volatile, alcoholic father and a mother who was a victim and a martyr, I had to walk on eggshells and make sure I was the perfect little girl so that my father would not explode and there would be peace in the house. I became the quintessential people pleaser, always putting others before me and worrying about their happiness. I did not know how to prioritize myself. I had the notion that creating a life around me and my needs and prioritizing myself was selfish and actually kind of dangerous. Because if I wasn't hyper-vigilant about the mood in the house and I expressed my needs, then I would create chaos and a burden for my mother, and I feared that there would be a spiral downward in the house. And so I learned to suppress my needs and ultimately diminished myself. Have you gotten that message in your life? If you say you want to take care of yourself, then do you worry others will call you selfish? Do you worry what others will think of you? Do you worry about whether you will be loved, approved of, accepted? I learned that the meaning of self-care is actually making myself important and letting the world know that I matter. What is wrong with that? When my cup is full and I'm emanating love and light and happiness and joy, that I'm fully capable of connecting to you and to me, and I'm available to love. And isn't that what the world needs right now? Yes, that is exactly what the world needs now to heal. Love. And that is what it all starts with. Love starts with you. So how do you stop abandoning yourself? First of all, allow yourself to have feelings and needs. To begin, practice identifying your feelings and thoughts and emotions throughout the day. I want you to go to Google and look up feelings list. Google has an amazing list of all the feelings that you could possibly feel in the day. I want you to print it out. And throughout the day, I want you to connect to yourself and ask yourself, I am feeling. And then look at your feelings list and fill in the blank. I am feeling whatever comes up. The first thing that pops up is usually what you feel. So trust that and say that to yourself. I am feeling frustrated. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling overwhelmed. Whatever comes up. And then ask yourself, what do I need right now? What do I need to help myself with those feelings? Stay present with your difficult feelings rather than abandon yourself when you feel overwhelmed. You can take a little sip of water, and you should do the same. Are you going to show up for yourself every day? Do you celebrate your wins, or do you diminish your accomplishments? Or even worse, do you dismiss yourself and not give yourself that pat on the back when you do something fabulous and wonderful? In order to show up for yourself, you have to be clear on who you are and what you truly desire in your life, so you can make choices that will lead you there, that will lead you to what you desire. Showing up for yourself means taking a break from the autopilot that you're on in order to be mindful and present, to care for your health and to nurture your own creativity and energy. When you consider the idea of showing up for yourself from a mental health perspective, it actually has tremendous depth and significance. Make your needs, the practical, the physical, the emotional, the spiritual, a priority. And knowing that unless you show up for yourself, you can't fully show up for anyone else or anything else. What do you want to see within yourself and with others? Are you going to choose courage or fear? Growth or stagnation? Connection or isolation? Positivity or continue that negative self-talk in your head? You need to show up for yourself and not compare yourself to others. Can I give you a little hint? You can actually start right here, right now, by giving yourself permission to be exactly where you are and who you are right at this moment. After saying this, I'm wondering, is that little critical voice coming up in your head? You know, that little voice that says, am I good enough? Do I deserve happiness? Can I do that? Can I really, really practice that? Do I have the capabilities or the adequacies to really do what Eileen is saying? That little voice is the annoying house guest. You know that house guest that comes to your house, that won't leave, that's loud, that takes out all the food out of your refrigerator, that turns the TV on loud and gets into your favorite chair. You know that house guest. Well, that inner critic, that negative self-talk is a major way that we sabotage our own happiness. You know, in midlife, many of us hold our breath, waiting for that genetic time bomb to explode. You know what I'm talking about? That widely held assumption that genetics will determine how long we live? You know, if your parents died young, then you're going to die young. If your parents lived a long life, then you have a chance of longevity. Well, let me just tell you what the research shows. The research shows that for people 50 plus years, only about 30% of your physical health is due to genetics. That means that 70% of how we will age is associated with lifestyle choices, with mindset, and other environmental factors in our life. That means we have control over our lifespan. Holy cow, did you hear that? We have control over how long we live. We have to focus less on genetic lineage and feeling powerless and living with that limiting belief that you have no control over how long you live. And, you know, that limiting belief about our life and the limiting belief that we have no power over our life, and focus on employing self-care that supports long-term health and our mental health. So let's take a moment to exhale and absorb that revelation that the care of our body and our feelings and our thoughts will impact the length of our life, and more importantly, the quality of our life. So, are you going to join me and other women on your own transformation journey? Will you show up for yourself? It's so important to learn through other people's experiences and wisdom and conversations. If we open ourselves up to joining each other, to connecting each other, to, you know, knowing that we are there for each other. There is so much power in the collective energy. And for me, the women's collective energy. That is why I need you. We all need you. Your wisdom and experiences are so important and have value. I know you've heard this from me from last week, but I'm going to say it over and over and over again so that it resonates, so that you can own it, so that you can feel it. You have value. You are worthy. You are vital to all of us. You have something special to give to us. You have gifts. Your gifts are important and special. Through deep connectedness, we gain courage to change. Everything is right about you. So we're going to take a little break right now. We're going to listen to a few little commercials, but come back because I have an unbelievable exercise that you can start practicing to create mindfulness and lower your anxiety. I have an affirmation, and I have a special announcement about some guests that I want to share with you next week. Come back.
Even though some things are far away, we plan for them ahead of time because they're important. When it comes to your celebration of life, it's really no different. You want to plan ahead now so your family doesn't have to later, and create a service that reflects your values, character, and traditions, no matter what they may be. At Dignity Memorial, we listen to every detail and make sure everyone is remembered.
Hello. I talked so much that I didn't realize I was almost done with the show. I want to share something with you. I want to share a little breath work that you can start tomorrow, because when you wake up with a lot of anxiety and cortisol in your body. So imagine that you have a paintbrush in your hand and you breathe up. As the paintbrush goes up in your hand and you hold it up there and you exhale as you swirl down the wall. Do that a few times in the morning and you are going to set yourself up for a great day with low anxiety. The affirmation that I want to leave you with is, what is it? I have the ability to create or change anything right now. And next week, join me when we have two extraordinary women who will be sharing their journey of transformation because of COVID. Okay? Love you. See you next week. Mwah! You have been watching It All Starts With You. New and exciting opportunities are ahead of you. You are creating your own destiny. Until we meet again, my friends, it all starts with you.